From the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada. Zooming around the world on the LoadedTV.com network. It's live from the Polo Lounge with musical director, the King of Reno, Corky Bennett. And I'm Nevada's guru of the good life, Dave Preston.
Here he is, proprietor, raconteur, mixologist extraordinaire, the coolest guy in Reno, Frank Perez.
Mr. Dave Preston.
How are you,
Dave-O?
Very good.
Listen, what a
you never
show.
thought you'd be starting a career all over again.
No, I have no idea.
Oh,
You know how
yeah.
tough it is being a child star with white hair? This is an
Absolutely.
easy.
This reminds me.
You got to start somewhere,
This
Dave.
reminds me of what Jackie used to say. How sweet it is.
How sweet it is, right.
Well, welcome.
Well, you know, we've got a great show lined up tonight. Everybody in this town I know has heard of Mr. Chris Costa, but tonight we have him here on our show, and this guy is absolutely fantastic. This is a showman. He is an entertainer, born to entertain. Trust
Absolutely.
me. And tonight we have a little Italian flavor, right from Milan, Italy. We've got Roberto Ghislia.
Yeah, Galizia. Yeah,
That
absolutely.
owns the marvelous Portofino restaurant, which is right across the street from the Polo Lounge.
There you go.
That's a 2-for-1. So anyway, and well, that's about it. And naturally, my good pal, Corky Bennett. Corky's been with me longer than Doc Severinsen. This guy's been here 6 years. And what can I say about Corky that hasn't already been said? Trust me,
And that's
this
true.
man's
And a lot we
amazing.
can't say on television.
You know, I'm sorry I was a little late tonight.
Why were you so late?
Well, I saw this poor little lady fall on the sidewalk.
No.
How did you know she was a poor lady?
She only had $1.20 in her purse.
Oh,
What are you doing? Look in that purse.
Already we're doing that.
But it's nice to be with you guys. This is going to be fun tonight.
Well, let me tell you, it's always fun being with Dave Preston.
Yes.
Well, we're going to have a lot of fun. You know, this is let me tell you how all this works. Folks, we're coming to you live around the world on Internet television. And Internet television is really, it's here, but it is, of course, the future of television. And one of the things this allows you to do is it allows you to watch on your computer, and there's a lot of people that can pull that computer right up on their home television screen. And it also gives you a chance to do something that no other television show of this type can have you do, and that's chat. You actually can log in and chat with us and ask us questions, make comments, make nice comments, because we don't read the bad ones, and you cannot have Corky's phone number.
Oh, yeah, they can. Oh, all right.
Unless you send me money. But it's kind of like, and the interesting thing about the show is that not only will it be live for the next hour, but you'll be able to log on to LoadedTV.com, and there'll be a button that says the Polo Lounge, live for the Polo Lounge, and you can watch it again and again and again. And that's kind of what it's all about. That's the glory and the beauty of having Internet television, which, as I said, is really truly the future of television now.
That's exciting. It really is exciting. My God, I mean, the whole world can see it.
Absolutely.
This is
And not only that, but the whole world can join in and ask questions. It's a remarkable, because as you know, I do another show, and we've got questions from literally all over the world. I mean, I can take a tour of the globe, from England, from Spain, from Italy. We've got people in Africa. We've got people in Mumbai, India.
Winnemucca.
Actually, I got one from Ely the other day.
Yeah.
It was a wrong number, but we got one from Ely. So anything is possible. And once again, all you have to do is log on to LoadedTV.com, and you will see us live streaming around the world. And if you got a question, you got a comment, just do it, and we will get it on, as they say. So
We'll answer it live as it happens.
as a matter of fact, we will, and then you can hear yourself over and over and over again. That's the glory of the internet. So it's really a great thing. So I'll tell you what, Frank, you've been in this business a long time.
long time, 54 years. I started out in 1959 with the Roaring 20s in San Francisco, and I've never looked back. I love what I do. I love people, or I wouldn't be doing it for 54. Actually, I never really wanted to work hard. So I've been doing this. And then I found out it's the hardest job you could ever do. People are fun, and I'll tell you, it's exciting. There's never a dull moment in the saloon business. I call it the saloon business because many years ago I was privileged to meet the great Toots Shor. Now, we have a man in our audience, Marty Ozer from New York. He knows all about Toots Shor. When I met him, it was like meeting the Pope. Or the,
More or less.
is he still with us?
No, he's retiring.
Oh,
He resigned.
Speaking of the Pope,
Yeah.
I just heard on the news that they're going to elect Cardinal Sikola.
From where?
He will be known as Pope Sikola.
Oh, I love it. All right.
And I just want you to know, folks, this is only the beginning.
Yeah, this is please stay tuned. Don't turn off that internet.
So, I mean, and not only that, but one of the things that's great about this place, that people have to come down here, is that all that history, all this great history you have, is all over the wall.
Exactly. This is, and when I was in New York with Toots Shor and the great Kenny Venturi, who won the U.S. Open in '64, it was an honor meeting him. He met everybody from the Pope all the way down to Jackie Gleason, whatever. I took a hit from that. I started saving pictures and doing whatever on my journey, and that's my segment of this show is going to be walking the walls. And that term came to me from my good pal right here, Dave Preston. Many years ago, he was on a local radio station here, and he says, my new digs is the Polo Lounge. Come down and have Frank walk the walls with you. But, Jesus, I had people coming down on a Saturday by 8, 9, 10 people. What the hell is he talking about walking the walls? I said, oh, he means the pictures of me and Tony Bennett, me and Sonny Bono and all this and that. And there is a lot of history on the wall. Looking at the monitor right now, my great friend, and love him to death, the great Dominic Germano from the Vagabonds. He was a mentor to Tony Bennett. Dean Martin, he was doing some kind of a show in San Francisco with Sammy Davis, and I said, Dino, what's the show going to be? Well, it's supposed to be a sitcom. If this flies, I'm Cary Grant. It never did. It never got off the ground. But anyway, getting back to what I have done is been in service for 54 years and loving every minute of it. And as I say, it's exciting, and that's part of the show.
You know, and that's the great thing. We're going to have more of that. We're going to have more of that as we go through this. I'll tell you, we will just have a whole lot of great stories to tell, and there'll be a segment every week, Walking the Walls. So, I'll tell you,
how lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fellow once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this isn't the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. I've sunshine enough to spread. It's just like the fella said, tell me quick, ain't that a kick in the head? Ain't that a kick in the head? Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning. I go to sleep and keep grinning. If this isn't the beginning, my life is gonna be beautiful. She's telling me it will be wet. She's picked out a king-size bed. Well, I couldn't feel better, or I'd be sick. Tell me quick, ain't that a kick? Tell me quick, ain't that a kick in the head?
All right, Corky Bennett, let's hear it. You're watching live from the Polo Lounge on LoadedTV.com. Stay tuned. There's so much more to come.
Well, needless to say, this is one of the greatest entertainers in the history of entertainment. Matter of fact, he's a living legend.
Tony Bennett, how could you pick anybody better? Probably one of the greatest entertainers of our life. And that goes along with Frank, Dean, and Sammy. But Tony's been a personal friend of mine for many, many years. In fact, I met him many years ago through Dominic Germano of the Vagabonds in San Francisco. And I hate to say, because I'm only 39, but I think I met him about 40 years ago. Does that equate?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So anyway, and this was so much fun, and there's a lot of jokes made about this picture. He signed it, of course, you know, it was my best and all this and that, and Tony Benedetto. I didn't know where to put it when he sent it to me. I called his office, and I said, Tony, I've got pictures of you and I dating back 30, 40 years. I said, I'd like something new, something fresh. So he sent this out. I looked at it, and I said, okay, terrific. Cost me $200 to frame. So I called him back. I said, Tony, great picture, wonderful. $200 to frame, please. So he laughed and giggled. A year or so later, he comes into town. I see all his shows. And I had just closed a restaurant down in Carson City called Joe Garlick's. And this picture was proudly hung at Joe Garlick's. I brought it home, didn't know where to put it. So I put it in the guest bathroom. So Dominic Germano comes over the house one night, and he says, Tony's in town. Let's have dinner over to your house. My apartment's a little too small. So anyway, fine, let's have him over. We'll have a little pasta, have some fun before he was appearing at Harrah's in South Lake Tahoe. So anyway, when he came over, Tony loves to tell jokes and spends a lot of time making the whole world laugh. So he had to go to the bathroom. He'd come out laughing, and he says, Frank, that's a great place to put my new poster. Quickly. And I say quickly, I looked at it. I said, Tony, where else would I put it? The poster was called Unplugged. And he goes, grayed out. We all fell down. But with this, there was Elvis Costello, Katie Lang, and one of the great, great albums that he put out, Unplugged.
You know, it's interesting because it says MTV. Now,
right.
Who would have thunk that he is as popular with MTV as he was in the great days of the big bands?
I think 90% of that had to do with his son, Danny. Danny is a terrific, terrific person and a great promoter, of course. And his dad, what are you going to say about Tony? The very best.
And he's sung with some of the most popular people. I think he did a piece with, I'm trying to think of the guy from Detroit. I think he did a piece on the MTV not too long ago with that bad boy from Detroit, and I'm having a senior moment here. But we'll figure it out. But he has done so much. And, of course, the song that all of us, and particularly you and I from all the years the Bay Area.
I left my heart in San Francisco. Of course, that's where I was born and raised. But and Tony, every time he appeared at the Fairmont Hotel, forget about it. You couldn't get a ticket. And
he comes to Reno every so often.
Yeah.
He does.
And from what I understand, in about 1962 or 3, that's how long that song's been around, a bartender wrote this in, I think, Atlanta, Georgia, if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me right. And he gave it to his piano player, the great Ralph Sharon. Yeah. And he says, Ralph, give this to Tony. I think this is fitting. Tony looked at it, yeah, it's okay, this and that. And they started fooling around with it. History.
Absolutely.
His trademark.
And it is his trademark, and it's to this day, I don't think anybody, when you say Tony Bennett, doesn't know that is his song. And he made his mark in the big bands. He's endured the time, which got to say something about his quality and capability in music.
Oh my God, yes. Every facet. He's really a jazz man, and he loves jazz. You know, what was a great jazz piano player? Bill Evans. Mm-hmm. He did an album with Bill Evans, if you could get it. I think it's out of print, but it's one of the greatest albums of all time. Just him and Bill Evans, piano player, and Tony, jazz.
And I'll tell you what, anytime you come to the Polo Lounge and you ever wonder about a story, this man's got him. Come down to the Polo Lounge and walk the walls with Frank. He's here Tuesday through Saturday from about 3 o'clock on, and you'll be able to hear all these great stories. personally, and he always has more. So we'll have much more. Stay tuned. You're watching live from the Polo Lounge. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Live from the Polo Lounge here in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada. It's my pleasure to introduce a gentleman I met about 4 or 5 years ago right here at the Polo Lounge. He's gone on to become probably one of the most popular entertainers that ever played Reno, Nevada. I'm speaking of Mr. Chris Costa. Give him a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Chris, you know, when I grow up, I want to look like you, buddy. You're the best-looking guy in show business.
Oh, please.
Hey, now, you started out in Nashville, I understand, right?
Well, actually, I started my career at 17 years old out of Stockton, California.
That's what I said, Stockton, California.
Yeah, very good.
You were so close.
I was close.
Just throw a dart, you'll hit it. But I immediately knew I loved it, and I've done it for the last 33 years for a living, and I'm so glad I chose this path. It's wonderful.
But you spent some time in Nashville.
I did. I spent 7 years in Nashville. I wrote a lot of songs and enjoyed the great people out there, and it's a beautiful place.
And now you're here in Reno. I saw you the other night at the El Dorado. You were fantastic.
Thank you very much.
And you're going to be appearing here tomorrow night, Valentine's night, right here at the Polo Lounge from 8 o'clock.
All right.
That's right.
And Chris just came back from Hawaii.
I did.
You know, the first time I went to Hawaii, Chris, I didn't know how to say it, Hawaii or Hawaii. So I found the guy in a flowered shirt. I said, how do you say it, Hawaii or Hawaii? He said, it's Hawaii. I said, thank you. He said, you're welcome. How about some music, Chris?
All right.
Yeah. I'm just going to stay here out of the way for you, buddy.
That sounds great. Well, here's a song that was written in the late 40s for a film, and then I guess the most notable moment for this song was when Frank Sinatra sang it at his farewell concert in 1971. And his retirement only lasted 2 years, as we all know, but this was his closing song, and it's one of my favorites. So drink up, all you people, order anything you see, and have fun, you happy people. The drink that lasts on me. Try to think that love is not around. Still it's uncomfortably near. My poor old heart ain't gaining any ground, because my angel eyes ain't here. Angel eyes that old devil sent, they glow unbearably bright. Need I say that my love misspent with angel eyes tonight? So drink up, all of you people, order anything you see, and have fun, you happy people. The drink and the laugh on me. Pardon me that I've got to run. The facts uncommonly clear. I gotta find who's now the number one, and why my angel eyes ain't here. Excuse me while I disappear. Thank you so much. Well, here's another Frank song. I decided to do a trio of Frank tunes today. It's another one of my absolute favorite songs. I've got you under my skin, and I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart, you're really part of me. I've got you under my skin. I tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair, it never will go so well. Why should I try to resist when, baby, I know so well I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice comes in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, you fool, you never can win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. Even you, Corky. Hey! So run for cover. I'm coming after you, buddy. All right. Running high. What a band. Sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice comes in the night and repeats how it yells in my ear. Don't you know, you fool, there ain't no chance to win. Why not use your mentality? Come on, baby, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop just before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin, and I love you under my skin. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Chris.
Thank you. I'm going to do one more song. I'm sending this out to Frank Perez. He's a very dear friend and a wonderful man. Gave me my start in this town. I love you, Frank. Frank, and Mr. Sinatra used to say this is his favorite saloon song. It's 2:45. There's no one in the place except you and me. Set 'em up, Joe. I got a little story you ought to know. We're drinking, my friend, to the end of a brief episode. Make it one for my baby, and one more for the road. I got the routine, put another nickel in the machine. feeling so bad. Can't you make the music feel sad? I could tell you a lot, but you've gotta be true to your code and make it one for my baby, one more for the road. You'd never know it, but buddy, I'm a kind of poet, and I've got a lot of things I'd like to say. And when I'm gloomy, won't you listen to me till it's talked away? Well, that's how it goes. And Joe, I know you're getting anxious to close. Thanks for the cheer. I hope you didn't mind my bending your ear. But this torch that I found, it's gotta be drowned, or it soon might explode. So make it one for my baby, one more for the road. Long, so long, very long. Good night, Joe.
Chris Costa, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, everyone. Great play.
All right. Appearing here tomorrow night, Chris Costa from 8 o'clock, Valentine's night. We'll be right back with you. More from Live at the Polo Lounge.
Hey, welcome back to Live from the Polo Lounge, doing around the world on the LoadedTV.com network. And we're in the biggest little city, Reno, Nevada, and the Polo Lounge is a historic landmark almost. Certainly the people that come here are historic enough to be making it a landmark, but it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun when we do it. And my good friend Roberto Galizzi is here from Portofino, Ristorante Italiano.
Nice to see you, Robert.
Hey, good to see you. And Portofino is right across the street from the Polo Lounge. A lot of people have asked me where this is. Reno, Nevada. It's on South Virginia, on the corner of South Virginia and Mount Rose Street. Don't go to the mountain. You'll be disappointed.
Yeah, not Mount Rose Highway.
Not Mount Rose, Mount Rose Street. But Roberto is one of the master Italian chefs in all of Reno. I kind of like the Lamborghini guy. You're the Lamborghini. You're a Lamborghini. So, Roberto, tell us a little bit about Portofino, and you've been in town. You've been cooking a long time.
Yes, where do we start? I mean, I was born in 19... came from Italy, came from Milano. I came to Reno, directly from Milano to Reno, and I worked for a couple of Italian restaurants. One was Renato's, and then I went to work for Portofino. And 15 years ago, I opened my own restaurant, and
here we are.
And here we are.
And you have a really nice cross section of food. I have to say, one of the things that I can attest to is probably the best calamari in town. You got that?
Yeah, amen.
Yeah,
I love it.
Some people say that.
That is it's a good calamari. But you also always have specials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one of the things great about seeing this show live is that there's nothing wrong with you coming down to Portofino after the show, stop in the Polo, have a cocktail, go across the way to Portofino like we're going to do. I think that's going to have to be a tradition. We're just going to walk over there, and we'll bring the audience. Is that okay?
Definitely.
Just as long as you bring them back at 7 for me.
That's right. He has the word. That's right. We'll do it. But what's the special tonight? What are we going to have today?
Tonight we're doing an encrusted halibut. Encrusted with pineapples, pistachios, and walnuts. And it's going to be served over a bed of spinach in a butter lemon orange sauce. And we have some homemade fettuccine pasta with fresh seafood and shellfish.
Yeah.
So every night, pretty much, we have a couple of special, and we have a very, as you saw, a very nice big menu.
And a lot of the great traditional foods. You've got you got your veal parmesan. We've got Alfredo. We've got
risotto. We got veal. We got chicken. We got lamb, steaks.
It's a complete and a nice little wine list.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a good bartender, Richard.
A legend in Reno, Richard.
Yeah, that's right. And he pours them long, so that he didn't want to hear that, but he pours them long. You know what we're going to do right now is let's take a look. Roberto and I have been known to go in the kitchen, so we're going to take a few minutes out to go in the kitchen. We'll come back and we'll talk some more about Roberto, and we'll talk about Portofino Restaurant Italiano. Take a look what it's like when I go in the kitchen with Roberto.
We're in the restaurant called Mario's Portofino Ristorante Italiano. And I'm here with, did I do that right?
Very good.
I'm pretty good. With my good buddy, Roberto Galizzi, who is the man behind the meals. And, Chef, tell us a little, you've been around the block. You've had Portofino now for how long?
About 15 years.
15 years.
Originally I came from Milano. I went to culinary school in Milano for 3 years. And I started working in a restaurant in Italy. And one day I decided to come to the States. And here it started. I opened my own restaurant and been here.
That's his history.
Yes.
You got more customers you know what to do with. And by the way, they're open every day.
7 days a week now. We're open on Monday too. We used to be closed on Monday. Now we're open on Mondays. 4 days for lunch, Monday to Friday, and 7 days a week for dinner.
And absolutely one of the true Italian cuisines in town. They're located on South Virginia. It's called the South Virginia Plaza. For those of you who live in town, Sports West or Coaches or the famous Polo Lounge are all in the shopping center. And we're going to start out today. We're going to do a little appetizer. We're going to do a little main course. And Chef, what are you going to do today for our appetizer?
Well, we start having some fresh figs. So I was thinking to do some fresh fig stuff with mascarpone and some prosciutto, wrapped in prosciutto.
That sounds wonderful.
It's a very nice appetizer that our customer that really loves and are looking for it, especially when they go out of season. They come and say, you don't have any more figs. What am I going to do?
A lot of flavors, a lot of textures.
Yes, definitely. Especially with the prosciutto, the sweetness of the prosciutto and the mascarpone. And we do put some lemon zest and some little bit of garlic in the mascarpone to give it a little bit of...
Tell me about your mascarpone. You make it here?
No. It comes from Italy, though. Yes. Very, fresh mascarpone. We use the same to do the tiramisu.
There you go. So this is the great... Now, what are we going to do first? Let's get going in this beautiful...
We have some figs that I just peeled, right? Fresh figs that we just peeled. We're going to cut them in... Oh, this is not very nice. Okay.
That's all right.
We're going to just cut them like a little cross in the center. Okay?
And we're going to fill these.
We're going to fill them with the stuffing with a little mascarpone. Just a little bit. Okay? Okay. So, like I said, we did some mascarpone with some lemon zest, salt and pepper, and a little bit of garlic, just a little bit.
I mean, what would it be Italian without garlic?
Well, believe it or not, in Italy they use just a little bit of garlic, not as in the States.
Yeah, we're a little crazy over here.
Okay. Voila. Now what we do, we're going to roll them in prosciutto di Parma. This is a classic prosciutto di Parma. Okay.
It's a little easier to get prosciutto these days and good stuff.
Yes, it is. Still expensive, but okay. Look how pretty it is. Bellissimo, say.
Bellissimo.
Bellissimo. Guarda che bello, guarda.
Bene.
Eccolo qua.
I'm pretty good with my Italian. Yeah, right.
Sì.
So we're getting these wrapped up lovely.
Yes. Okay.
And again, a lot of textures, a lot of flavor here, and it's just it goes from elegant to really hearty.
Yes, you know the nice about this plate, the sweetness of the mascarpone and the figs, the contrast with the saltiness of the prosciutto di Parma that is not too salty, is perfect. It's a perfect, contrast. Okay, so it's very simple. We're gonna just set them on the plate with a little bit of mixed green or lettuce, whatever. Okay, just like that. Then we're gonna decorate them a little bit with a few tomatoes. And I put some Kalamata olives. Shrek, would you give me a couple of beets, please?
That's the great thing. In the kitchen, the chef can always yell for his assistant to get whatever he needs. This is a great dish. It's almost, in a hot weather, it's almost a little meal.
It is. It is. Yeah, it is. Now what we're going to do... No, the chips. The chips. So we make our own balsamic glaze, right? It's a reduction of a balsamic vinegar. So we're going to just drizzle just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay? It's very thick.
It's kind of like painting a picture.
Yes.
And again, the balsamic glaze is going to give it that sweet, tart, wonderful lift.
Okay.
And
decorated with a couple of beet chips. Just for color. That's all.
And you eat with your eyes first, and once again,
yes,
a masterpiece.
Manja.
Manja, manja. We'll be right back. Much more to
Great
come.
food. You can't miss it. Now, Roberto, so we got a question already. Where are you from again? Repeat the question.
I'm from Milano, Italy.
Right, and if you miss it again, we're going to come and get you. Because he said that earlier, but that's okay. Corky's taking notes.
Milano, Italy.
That's right. Now, let's talk about something. We saw those beautiful figs. But, of course, that's seasonal. People want to know where you get all your produce. It comes mostly locally, isn't it? Aren't you most?
Yes. Well, I'm getting my produce mostly from Bonanza Produce, and the last couple of years, some from university.
Sure. Yeah, the University of Nevada, Reno has its own produce.
Yeah.
We've got some great farms.
Tomatoes, nice baby arugula, and
Yeah, good stuff. Do you have any garlic where you are?
We invented garlic.
I had to put that in. But, not only that, but everything is homemade there. And you got some desserts.
Yes.
And
we do our own dessert. We do our, fresh pasta.
Tiramisu always.
Yes. Tiramisu, panna cotta, with chocolate mousse, coconut cheesecake.
Everything is very, very creative, and it just doesn't stop coming. And once again, Portofino is on South Virginia on Monroe Street. You're open 7 days a week.
7 days a week, and we open for lunch too.
It's all good.
Yes.
Does Roberto have any special cocktails or drinks? And is Dave going there after the show?
Yes, we do. We have what is called Mario's Lemon Drop, and it's pretty much a lemon drop, but I use my own limoncello. Actually, we call it Mamacello because it's Mama's recipe.
Say hi to Mama.
Hi, Mama.
We got to do that.
And we do a lemon drop with a little bit of limoncello that is homemade, like I said. It's delicious and people love it. And if Dave is going to be nice with me tonight, maybe I'll let him come in tonight.
Yeah, Dave. And I'll tell you what, if you happen to be in the neighborhood and you come down to Roberto's for dinner tonight, I'm going to buy you a limoncello.
Very good.
That's right.
Guess who's buying it, though, huh?
Yeah, no, that's on my tab, right? Got another question.
One viewer says, will he make it to me if I stop by tonight?
Oh, absolutely. Whatever you want. And like I say, I'm buying the limoncello.
Definitely I will.
Yeah, so come on down, come see us, come enjoy it. We're going to have a great evening. And anytime, Portofino, 7 days a week, lunch and dinner, or lunch only.
Lunch Monday to Friday, but dinner 7 days a week. Yeah.
Absolutely, 7 days a week. Great place to eat. Come and see it. It's great. We're going to have so much more to come. Stay tuned by. You're watching live from the Polo Lounge for the beautiful city of Reno, Nevada. When we come back, all of us will get together, answer your questions, and make more music, make more merry. Don't go away. We're going to be back right after this.
You ever plan to motor west? Take the highway, the byway, that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. You got it, Chris.
It rides from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles away. Get your kicks on Route 66.
Well, it winds from St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri. Oklahoma City is mighty pretty.
The Oklahoma, down in New Mexico,
Stockton.
like Arizona, North of Illinois, Texas, Boston, right here in Reno, won't you be hip? Hip.
When you make that California trip, get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66.
All right. Corky Bennett. All right.
Thank you.
That's the way it works. Well, you are watching the Live from the Polo Lounge. It is the premiere show, and so far it's going very, very good. We haven't lost anybody or anything, and no lights have blown up. So that's a good thing. We're going to get to your chat questions in just a minute, but let's talk a little bit. One of the big questions is this lovely little microphone here. This is a real microphone, and it's a RCA DX77, circa 1945, 1948, something like that. It's the same exact microphone that the great Johnny Carson started with for many, many years, and you still see them. Remember when Larry King was on? Larry King had one in front of him, but it was never plugged in. He always had the lavalier, but he had it as an effect. But folks, you're hearing our voice over this microphone, which is pushing 70 years old. Of course, I wasn't born when it was invented.
And it fit right in our budget, too.
That's right. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, I love flea markets. But it's a great little attribute, and it'll be part of the show. We're just kind of giving you the flavor. I think the flavor of this show is great memories.
Absolutely.
And that's what this is. This is one of the great memory shows. We'll always take you down a trip down memory lane every week you come in. We have a question, Mr. Stewart.
Yes, they're wanting to know if, again, who the singer is, and whether he's available for weddings.
Yeah, Chris Costas, are you available for weddings?
Yes, I am, actually. Once in a while, I'll do one of those.
Yeah.
And if anybody ever has any questions about what I do, who I am, or want to watch some great video of my performances, you can always go to my website, and that's chriscosta.com, CHRISCOSTA.com.
And that's the great thing about social media, guys. We have the ability to do that kind of stuff. We have the ability to put ourselves out. Next question.
And I don't know how to say this name, but they want to know, did someone here used to play baseball?
Yes.
Well,
yes, I did.
Frank played ball, but not only that, but probably for those of you who are in San Francisco fans, way back a few years ago, he used to throw batting practice. So.
Yeah, for 4 seasons I threw batting practice for the San Francisco Giants.
Talk to me. We don't want to talk to you.
I like him. He doesn't hit me.
Yeah, that's right. But I got to keep it. It's either that or a pacemaker. I mean, I don't know.
It's next.
Yes.
Does Chris have a Facebook page?
Yes, I do. It's the Chris Costa Fan Club, I believe. But if you have any questions, there's a direct link from my website, chriscosta.com, to my fan page. And I'd love it if you guys would join. You can check my schedule, and everything about me is on there.
And instead of a post, you get to hum. Keeps the music coming. Yes, sir.
Someone who obviously knows Dave says Dave's lost a lot of weight. How much have you lost?
Well, I'm down about 63 pounds, and it's very easy when you just tie a knot in your throat. It's just a piece of cake.
60 pounds.
About 63.
That's fantastic.
We're getting there. It's
60 pounds. I think that deserves a round of applause. Well, that's fantastic.
I'm going to Roberto's for dinner.
Yeah.
Boy, is that going to be
Say, Stuart, has there been any questions about if I will ever play the accordion on the show? Or
Corky
is this wondering?
is one of the foremost accordion players in the world, and he doesn't he sell used cars?
Maybe next week I'll play the accordion.
We got to put that in. Yes.
There's the accordion.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Finally.
A question for me.
A fan.
What brand of accordion is it?
The brand of my accordion. What I'm playing is a 1958 Petosa accordion.
And maybe tell a little story about that. I mean, this is...
This is a 1958 Petosa accordion.
And I'll never forget when I first bought this accordion, I was coming home from the music store. It was like 105 degrees. It was the middle of summer, and I was dying of thirst, but I thought if I stopped to get something to drink, somebody would steal my new accordion out of my car. But I couldn't stand it. I was so thirsty, so I stopped at a 7-Eleven store, and I got a Coke, and while I was in there, I heard this glass break. I ran out to the parking lot, and my back window was broken. I looked in the back seat, and there was 4 more accordions.
Yeah, what more can I say?
Let's have another question for Corky. Corky, what is your favorite cartoon?
My favorite cartoon? Well, I like Daffy Duck a lot. I just like Daffy Duck. My favorite cartoon.
Chris, do you like hamsters?
Hamsters?
I don't know.
Well, of course I do. I love animals, so hamsters fall into that category quite well. So, yeah.
We're looking at questions. All right, so one of the things, as I say, one of the great things, we've got another question, but I can't even get a word out. Go ahead.
Where is the show live from?
All right.
It's live from the Polo Lounge, right here in Reno, Nevada.
And we're on South Virginia Street, which is South Virginia and Mount Rose Street. There's a big, it's called the South Virginia Plaza. For those locals, they might know it, is the Sports West is at the back of this, so if you know where Sports West is, there's another watering hole called Coach's on the corner. There's a big bookstore on the corner of Mount Rose in South Virginia, but we're right in the middle. You can't miss us. And a little bit of the history of the actual Polo Lounge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want a little history of the Polo Lounge?
I mean, I remember it in Burlingame.
Well, I created it in 1969 in Burlingame, California. I'm from the Bay Area where I had 11 different bars and restaurants, and went into Burlingame in '69, bought a nice little club, created the Polo Lounge. I tried desperately to play polo for a season and a half. I was almost able to hit the ball after the first season. It's like playing golf on horseback. It's very humbling.
Yeah.
And, and my coach was Glenn Atkinson, who still lives in Woodside, California, and a marvelous man, and a very patient man, I might add. But that's how the Polo Lounge arrived.
Interesting story, because the Polo Lounge down in Beverly Hills, when it was going, back in the day, the great Will Rogers was the big polo player down there, and that was a sport of the Hollywood elite. We have another question.
Yes, for Chris. Well, 2 questions for Chris. Hold on. Does Chris do singing lessons? And secondly, where did you learn to sing?
Do you do singing lessons, and where do you learn to sing?
Well, I used to teach a lot. I don't really do it much anymore, being a full-time casino and lounge entertainer. I really have a passion for performing, and occasionally I'll take on a student for one reason or another. It's quite rare, but if someone wants to contact me, it's a possibility. Where I learned to sing, I started at 5 years old. My parents told me I would come home from the Disney movies singing all the songs, and so they knew right then that I loved to sing. And I have a couple of special vocal coaches that have helped me along the way. Ron Anderson is very famous in Los Angeles, and a young guy named Jesse Nemitz, who is one of the best vocal coaches I've ever heard. And so my words to singers are train and have a passion. And there you go.
All right.
I love it.
People come down here to watch the show live.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Come on down.
Anybody and everybody.
All righty.
You know, Chris, I want to thank you very, very much for stopping by. This kid is a marvelous entertainer. There's no stopping him. His passion.
Chris Castaway. Thank you, Chris.
Very much.
All right, here's our closing song. Sing along with us. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Jump in there whenever you want, Chris. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue sky takes those gray clouds far away. So won't you please say hello to the friends that I know? Tell them I won't be long. So
they'll be happy to know as you saw me go, I was singing this song. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Y'all have a good time tonight, folks. This is live from the Polo Lounge, zooming around the world on the LoadedTV.com network. Thanks for coming down. Gonna take this song out and maybe got some time for more questions, maybe, or do we? No, that's it. Okay. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. Remember, Chris Costa tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Costa. Some sunny day, and I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Okay, I'll be back at 7 o'clock tonight. You people all better be here when I get back. Okay. Thank you very much.
Good night to Jenna, wherever you are.